little foresight for you. We're going to be, coaches got them practicing inside the indoor facility here today, so don't need to lather on as much sunscreen and go out for the hour.
Already put a bunch on. So.
Minutes ago?
It's gonna be a little warm today.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
It's hot yesterday.
Doug, what have you been able to gather from Eric Armstead in terms of his approach and how he can help your team?
Well, from the approach, I think just his, the experience that he's had. I think being on, the team, San Francisco, and the success that they've had, and bringing that experience to us and to some of our young players, and what that looks like. That leadership is going to be, I think, vital to the success, that we have, and having more of those guys on the roster, I think only helps, right? Only helps. And then, once we get them out there on the grass, working with the guys, I think you're going to see, an ultimate pro in the way he approaches everything, and that's just something that again, you can't have enough of those guys.
What do you hope it helps?
Oh, no, you're good. Do you anticipate by training camp he's going to be fully
Yeah.
What do you hope that helps most? Having all those guys.
I think what it looks like, what he can bring, and how that looks like from, and not so much in training camp as it is. I'm looking down in December and January, what it looks like towards the end of the season, right? And so you don't have what happened last year happen again, and you need guys like that. They can. I can only say so much, but when you turn it over to the players and guys that have been there, done that, it means more coming from them.
The practices we've been able to see, Cephas has made some plays and everything. Has that been a consistent thing with him throughout all the OTAs?
It's been consistent. He's done a nice job, from a young player coming in here and picking up and doing some things, and it's now we're here at the end of the offseason program, and we're going to have some time away, but what he retains between now and camp and coming back in great shape. But he's done a nice job. He's making plays, and that's something that, we got to see once we get in camp and you put the pads on and see what they can do then.
At this point in the offseason, with most of the veteran players not here for minicamp this week, how do you feel about the team? I mean, can you get a read on kind of where the group is as a whole?
I think you get a pretty good idea where everybody is, where the team is. I think it was successful from the standpoint of the way these guys worked, the way they came in with the right attitude, good frame of mind. They worked extremely hard in the weight room to get stronger, which we needed to do as well. But I think too, you're seeing the leadership of the team. You're seeing, we've talked about Trevor and his impact and him, doing the thing, taking that next step, and what I've seen there, and the positivity there, and obviously guys like Christian Kirk coming back healthy, and seeing that, and this rookie class has been really good coming in and how they work, and last year's class. So, all the pieces are sort of coming together here at the end, and just got to carry that right into July and August.
When you brought in all this defensive staff, how much leeway going in did you give Ryan to bring in some of his own guys? Is that sort of something that's just sort of understood when you're interviewing a coordinator, or does that just sort of evolve as the process is going along?
I don't know if it's understood. I mean, you got to have those conversations, right? Who the assistants are going to be, and who the guys he's worked with before, and are they going to fit us? Are they going to fit me, and getting along and all that kind of stuff? And but yeah, each one of the guys we interviewed, they have guys they want to bring, and Ryan had guys that he wanted to bring, and guys like Chris and Corey, and are guys that he's been with before. He's had success with them before, and that's always a positive when you've worked with coaches who have had success around the league or with you as a coordinator.
I mean, success in this league is still about players, but how much do you feel like the cohesiveness and the history that Ryan has? I mean, one of his staff guys is a guy who played for him 20 years ago. others are coaches that he's worked with. How much do you feel that component, call it a bond, call it chemistry, whatever you want, can help facilitate the process of winning?
I think it just comes down to the trust, right? And we have to trust each other as a staff. We have to trust our players, and players have to trust coaches. And they have to know, they being the players, have to know that the coaches have their best interests, right? And they have their backs. And I think that's where that cohesiveness comes from. And whether you've played for, as much, I played for Andy Reid, in Green Bay, same thing. And then, I didn't play for him in college, but obviously in the pros, and then you end up working for him, and there's a trust and a bond and a relationship there. And I think all those things can benefit your staff.
Is it hard to get a read on an undrafted offensive lineman like Stephen Jones at this point in the offseason, since there's no pads and stuff right now?
It's hard. But he's doing a nice job. He's doing a nice job, and he's getting better. And you this time of year too, it's probably more the mental, capacity and what they can retain from the classroom, out on the grass. But again, training camp, and we'll put pads on, and then you'll get to see more of where those guys are.
I know there was a lot of positive thoughts about Cooper Hodges and Ventrell Miller last year before their injuries. How would you assess both guys this offseason coming back?
I think both guys really, number one, they attacked their rehab. That's where it starts, and put themselves in position to help on the football team. I think both guys are in really good shape right now, in really good positions. They came back with the right frame of mind, and really looking forward to, I think, watching these two players in training camp, and seeing where they can help us.
How much growth has Parker had from maybe this time last year to this time this year?
I think what you're seeing with Parker Washington, the confidence in him playing last year, kind of understanding what it takes, watching Christian, obviously. Again, another young player that came back in the right frame of mind and excited to get on the field. I think he's another one that's healthy now, and moving around really well, and it's good to see.
How much of these next couple of days are sort of an extension of what you guys have already been doing with the OTAs and things of that nature?
It's really the same. I mean, it's, call it what you want, minicamp, whatever. I mean, it's really an extension of phase 3, for us, and just the development process and continuing that, and really, you're not having a lot of the vets out there. It's a great opportunity again for these young players to get the bulk of the work.
Where have you seen that rookie class sort of grow, I guess, over these last few weeks, and have you been impressed? What
yeah, I mean, I think in everything, their attention to detail in the building, their work ethic in the weight room, how they're competing, out on the football field, in all really phase 2, phase 3. And we've seen a lot of positivity there, and they're it's a good group top to bottom, and so that's why I think it's good for them to get the bulk of the work this week, and then take a little break and come back ready to go in July.
Did you guys try to do a joint practice with Kansas City?
No.
No?
No. Mm-mm.
Would you have liked to have tried to have had more than one, or is that too much in your opinion?
No, I don't think it's too much. I think two is a good number, but you got to have two teams, or at least another team that's willing to do it. I never reached out to Coach Reid to do that. No.
Coach, you mentioned going into phase 3. If there's a particular goal that you can enunciate that you get through this phase, the training and ramp up, what would you say kind of is from the coach's perspective?
No injuries. Stay healthy. Phase 3 is more competitive than the other 3 phases, obviously, and you're doing more offense versus defense stuff, and you're just trying to limit, the contact, and you're still teaching, right? And you're still developing and growing your football team. But, yeah, I mean, bottom line, too, you don't want guys to get hurt this late into the offseason, because it'll set them back for training camp. And we're just now getting guys healthy who've missed a little bit of phase 1, phase 2 that are going to be here this week. And and that's exciting to see. So we just don't need any setbacks at this time.
So it's kind of a balancing act, keep him healthy while learning as much as you can.
Exactly, and that's the hardest thing, because they're football players, and they want to compete, and they want to they want to win every down, whether you're offense or defense, and you just gotta pump the brakes sometimes and make sure that we're more teaching than we are competing at this time.
Did you have a message for the vets that you let go, and what will be your message for once minicamp is over for the players that are here?
I did,
You don't want to share it?
and I will.
Jack Anderson, what did you see in him to make the team? You want to claim him off waivers? What do you see him playing at? As far as
Well, yeah, I mean, we just got him. We'll get him out there this week and see how he fits in and plugs in, and obviously it gives us depth at the offensive line, and somebody that I think there was an interest even when he was coming out of school, in college and all of that, and it's a great opportunity you can never have enough big guys, whether they're offense and defensive linemen in this league, and he's another one that gives us that depth.
What do you lean on Josh for this week? If it
Josh who?
Allen.
The fact that he's here, his leadership, veteran guy. I mean, he appears to be in great shape, like he always is. And I just think too, just now for him, he's going to be learning some new stuff. And these next couple of days are going to be great for him, and for the young guys to see him, and I know for the coaching staff to finally get their hands on him to start coaching and teaching, and it'll be a good 2.5 days with Josh here.
What's, I guess, his biggest challenge, maybe mentally, following up what he did last year?
Well, the challenge is, for any player in that position, I think, that's had success the year before is can you do it again? And you have to do it again. And the fact that the contract is behind him now and he can just focus on ball, I think that's his main focus, and helping us. He has to understand too that he doesn't have to do it by himself. There's 10 other guys on the field that can help him get to where he wants to be too. And so, but taking a step in the right direction, being here this week, obviously, I think for him, and I know the type of person he is and the way he works, puts himself in a position to be successful, I think, as he moves forward.
Now that he's shown what he has, kind of piggyback on that, now that he's shown what he has and he's proven himself the way he has what you asked of him changed at all from now to previous seasons?
No, it hasn't. He's still Josh. He's still a big part of the football team. He's a leader of the football team. I don't have to ask any more or any less. I just want him to be him, and he doesn't have to put any more pressure or stress on himself. Just go play and help us win games.
What kind of offseason has Trayvon Walker had for you?
He's been good. He's been, he's just another bright spot on defense, obviously. He's excited about the new scheme. He's another young player that will be counted on, even in a leadership role, on that defense and amongst the team. And just a great kid. I mean, just humble, hardworking, wants to improve, wants to get better, wants to learn, and he's still growing, and that's the exciting part about him.
All right, Coach, thank you, sir.